Glover Teixeira, former light heavyweight UFC title challenger. He lost to John Jones in a 5-round decision. He went against Anthony Smith, who also challenged John Jones, UFC 235 last year, a little over a year ago. If you famously remember, Smith, and it's important that you remember this, Smith in the 4th round of that title fight against John Jones was illegally kneed in the head. John Jones had a position where he was kind of like a big brother position. He had one hand on the back of Anthony Smith's neck and basically another hand on his rib cage. So he posted against him and then wham! He knees him in the head illegally because Smith had more than 2 points of contact touching the canvas, which is illegal. Are we surprised that John Jones is doing something illegal? No, we're not. But the point of the story is that Anthony Smith is tough as nails. He could have taken the loss. He could have, by disqualification, became the UFC's light heavyweight champion and broke up John Jones' winning streak and title streak, but he didn't. He's a man's man. And Ariel Helwani said he would have taken the title and he would have ran away with that title. This is back in March of 2019. I'll dig up the footage, the audio or the video if I really want to bury on Helwani. I don't want to do too much of that because the clip of Helwani saying he didn't miss the fans, which he reiterated in his latest podcast, was enough. It drilled home. It got enough tension. He knows I'm coming for him. He knows the octagon's on his heels. He can run and hide in his octagon behind Dana White, who really doesn't care about him. But the octagon is coming for Helwani. But point of this story now, or point of this tangent, is that Helwani would have taken the title if presented the same opportunity as Anthony Smith. Smith said, I'm not you, Helwani. I didn't go to Syracuse broadcasting school. I'm not all this pleasant type of person, shenanigan stuff. I'm a man's man. I'm a gritty man. And it came to the surface again. Anthony Smith, hell of a jaw, hell of a will, so much heart. He earned the name Lionheart. It makes sense because Glover Teixeira, it took hook after ground and pound, after position, after hammer fist, after hammer fist. Anthony Smith at one point was taking out, what do you call those? Not the porcelain. Yeah, I think it is the porcelain teeth. He was popping them out while he's being punched in the side of the face, and he's handing to the ref. He goes, hey, here, hold this. I might need this. These are my dentures. I might need them after. He's so damn tough. He's doing his own dentist work. No, Dr. Emilio Rosario can't do his work. Dr. Emilio Rosario does footwork, but we'll get into that later. Smith is so damn tough that he was in the fight the whole time mentally. Maybe his body gave out on him, and we've seen that before, that sometimes fighters are too tough for their own good. Dan Hooker going against Edson Barbosa. His mind would not quit. His mind was in the fight the whole time. But when your liver gives out, when your diaphragm gives out, when your femur and shin bones are tired of being checked and kicked, and your jaw is tired of being punched, your body collapses at some point. And there's a lot of controversy going around with, should Smith's corner, more direct, Mark Montoya out of Denver, should he have thrown in the towel earlier and avoid the damage that Smith endured and take away, yes, the small chance of him coming back, but there is always the chance. There's the Frankie Edgar, there's the Michael Bisping chance of coming back to have a huge comeback and win the fight. But it's easy for a media member in their safe, cozy studio chair to say that Mark Montoya screwed up. And the exact quote, because I'm not going to just play the audio of his voice. Trust me, this is the quote. This is what Helwani said on his ESPN MMA podcast with Daniel Cormier, DC. Quote, Smith will be feeling this loss for years. End quote. Ariel Helwani. Now, the point of that quote, what he's saying is this might have done long-term damage. And obviously, we're not going to know in his next fight. We're not going to know in 3 fights. Well, maybe in 3 fights if he loses 3 straight and he's knocked out. But Smith has a reputation to take a hell of a beating. Like a hell of a beating. If you go back to his fight against Thiago Santos, the fight was at 185 pounds. Both guys now fight at 205 pounds. Both guys challenge for John Jones. But Anthony Smith versus Thiago Santos at 185 pounds. Oh my goodness. Google that. Look it up. Images. If you can't afford the UFC Fight Pass package, I think it's about $9. It's not super worth it. It's decently worth it. They should make it free, or at least the pay-per-views should be included in it, like the WWE package. But anyway, if you see that fight, oh my goodness. It wasn't totally back and forth. It was pretty one-sided in favor of Santos. And man, did Smith take a hell of a beating. I actually spoke to Smith's coach, Mark Montoya, after visiting their lovely gym in Denver, Factory X. And it literally is a factory in the middle of nowhere. That's actually where I met Eric Anders, who I talked to last week. Eric Anders is fighting tomorrow on a UFC Jacksonville Dos card. But Smith, Montoya, they're on the same wavelength. They know what the game plan is. They've seen each other way outside of the public's eyes in terms of how much time they spent watching tape, studying, not just the training part, but the conversations and the life stories. And I'm sure the barbecues and the cookouts, the dinners, the bar nights, the family gatherings or the gym gatherings, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot more to the relationship than what you see on fight night. And that's where I think the cozy, soft, studio chair sitting host, I'm not going to say his name again, that's where they're wrong. Because it's easy for them to say this loss is going to affect him for the rest of his career. Wow, way to be positive, This loss is going to throw off his career. He's screwed. Well, then he might as well retire, right? He might as well just have taken his gloves off, placed him in the middle of the octagon, or the octagon, and said, this is it. I'm done. I don't need to pursue a comeback story again. I don't need to win 3 straight by finish again. I don't need to stop some legends on my way to a title fight against the greatest MMA fighter of all time, with an asterisk, against John Jones. I don't need to do that. I should just retire. He should listen to that. He's no longer a journalist. He's turned into a pundit, a personality, a commentator, somebody who's just, hear ye, I am high above you on my horse and my, it's not a soapbox, but I will cast down my words of judgment. Who the hell are you to tell Anthony Smith, the Lionheart, that he is going to be feeling this for the rest of his career? Stop. You're way ahead of yourself. Maybe you were drinking the Kool-Aid that your wife or kids making because you're staying home, but slow your roll, calm down. Anthony Smith has a lot more in the tank. Look what he did after the John Jones loss. He came back to submit Alexander Gustafsson, Volkan Ozdemir. This guy, he climbs, and then he hits a little plateau. Climbs, little plateau, climbs. I am behind Anthony Smith to come back, to right the ship. Glover Teixeira just had a hell of a night. Who would have expected that? I can't name one person who bet on Glover Teixeira. I know my boy Robbie, who just got arrested on the last episode, was saying, dude, I think Glover might win it. Yeah, anybody might win it. These are different types of circumstances with this COVID-19 and pandemic times that we're in. Everybody's mental state is in flux. It really shows you how important the mental side of this is. Justin Gaethje, the odds were against him on any other fight night, but he was just mentally stronger on, May 9th against Tony Ferguson. Henry Cejudo shows that a freaking tank can't ruin his confidence, or can't run over his confidence. It's different circumstances, and this is what I love so much about mixed martial arts. Everybody wants the inside, everybody wants to make picks, or somebody just stays away and not make picks. I also appreciate that, because they don't want to be rooting for a guy to lose. They just want to sit back, just no dog in the fight, basically. I understand that, but the coolest part of this sport is the mental side of it. And I also do a Mind, Body, Soul podcast where I try my best to relate to these UFC cage warriors who step in there on a seasonal basis, sometimes even sooner than that, like a Donald Cowboy Cerrone, and put everything on the line and do not quit in a fight, Stephen A. Smith, and put everything that they have, their reputation, their health, their not their family's name, but their name on the line. And that's what I love about this sport. It's so dang mental in a good way. And it takes so much visualization and mental repetitions over and over and over to to really find out what you got about yourself. And Anthony Lionheart Smith and his coach, Factory X's own Mark Montoya, they know what they have in each other. They know what Smith can push to. Smith knows what Montoya has in him. He knows if he's too tired to stay at the gym for a film session. He knows if he could stay up for 3 straight days and study film. They know each other, and I don't think really anybody's in the proper position to say that they should have thrown in the towel sooner. Smith will be feeling this for years. I think Smith knows how he will be feeling in years, and we need to stop writing the narrative for narratives that we don't control.